Good morning, classics students. Today we are going to study History Chapter 2 from hunting, gathering to food. This chapter we can divide into two sections. Its first part only we are going to study today, part 1. In this chapter, we can study about early humans. We can study about early humans. How they lived, where they lived, and what changes happened in their lives, which type of tools they used. All these we can study in this chapter. So we know early people were called as hunter-gatherers. Why they were called as hunter-gatherers means they used to survive by hunting animals, fish, birds, and by gathering fruits, roots, nuts, seeds, leaves, eggs, like that. So by their activities only they were called as hunter-gatherers. So early people were always on the move from one place to another place. Why early people moved from one place to another place? There are four main reasons for their movement. One reason, in search of food. We know that if they stayed continuously in one place, they would kill or hunt animals and birds continuously, and their stock would be finished. Similarly, if they stay continuously in one place, all the fruits, roots, seeds, nuts, everything would be finished. And if the stock of animals and roots, fruits, everything finished, again for their survival, nothing would be available from that place. And so, in search of food, after staying for a few period in one place, they moved to another place in search of food. Second reason is that animals moved from place to place. We know that actually some animals in search of smaller prey, or some type of animals also moved from one place to another place. So the people who survived by hunting these animals wanted to follow them. Then only they would be able to get their own food also. So when animals moved from one place to another place, after these animals, people also moved from one place to another place to hunt them or catch them. The third reason, plants and trees bear fruit in different seasons. We know that if they stayed continuously in one place itself, only some seasons they would get fruits. So after getting because in some seasons only fruits will be available. So after that they need to move to another area, there another type of fruits would be available. In another season, another types of fruits would be available. If they stayed in one place, only particular type of fruits would be available. There also only for a short period of time. And after that there would be nothing for their survival. That's why if they move from one place to another place, in another season, other types of fruits also would be available. That's why people also moved. Because other plants and trees bear fruit in different seasons. And the fourth reason, in search of water. We know that plants, animals and humans, for their survival, water is very essential. So some rivers and lakes are seasonal. Only in some seasons of a year there will be water in rivers and lakes. So wherever they would get water, after staying in one season in one region, they would move to another region, because in another region water would be available. So wherever water is available for their survival, in search of water, all these animals, plants, and animals and humans moved in search of water. So these are the four reasons because of which early people moved from one place to another place. First of all, in search of food. If they stayed continuously in one place, very soon all the animals, fish, birds would be finished and they would not get anything for hunting. And the same way, fruits, roots, nuts, seeds, stacks, leaves, all these stocks also would be finished. And so, in search of food, they used to move from one place to another place. Secondly, animals moved from one place to another place. In search of smaller prey or in search of some plants and some trees, in search of grassland, some animals used to move. So the people used to hunt such animals. Such people also want to move after these animals. Third one, plants and trees bear fruit in different seasons. And the fourth one, in search of water, because some rivers are seasonal and some rivers are perennial. Continuously water will be available in some rivers and some lakes. So in search of water, wherever water is available, people are moving in search of water also. That's why early people moved from place to place. Now let us see, how do we know about these people? Let us see the topic. How do we know about these people? We know that archaeologists are the people who study the remains of the past. So archaeologists have found some of the things that these people made and used. Archaeologists have found some of the things that these people made and used. Mainly weapons and tools. These weapons and tools mainly made of stone, bone and wood. Weapons and tools of early people made of stone, bone and wood. You can see here a picture of weapons of early people, tools and weapons of early people. Weapons they mainly used for cutting meat and bones. They used tools and bones for cutting meat and bones. For scrape bark and hides. Bark means outer case of trees or skin of trees, we can say. The same way hides means skin of animals. For removing or scraping bark and hides, and for chopping fruit and roots. For these purposes, they use their tools and weapons. So archaeologists have found some of the things that early people used. From their discoveries, they made history about early people. They constructed history about early people, how they lived or what they used. Early people used mainly tools and weapons. Tools and weapons of bones, stones and wood. These weapons and tools they used for three purposes, mainly three purposes. For cutting meat and bones, and for scraping bark and hides, and for chopping fruit and roots. Let us see the topic, choosing a place to live in. Look at the map. On this map, all the places marked with red triangles are sites. from where archaeologists have found evidence of hunter-gatherers. Hunter-gatherers lived in many more places, but only few are shown on this map. They lived nearby the water areas because as they needed to get water, they lived nearby the areas of rivers and lakes. And also they lived nearby the areas where good stones were available because they needed to get stone for making their weapons and tools. So they lived mainly nearby the areas of stone, good stones, where good stones were available, or nearby rivers and lakes. So in this map, you can see all the places marked with red triangles are sites. Site means locations where early people lived. Now let us see about rock paintings and what they tell us. You can see rock paintings here. So we know that early people lived in caves. And when they lived in caves, they used to draw pictures of animals, birds, fish and trees, whatever they saw. They used to draw with great accuracy and skill. In these pictures also you can see that they beautifully drawn. So in India also, two such caves and cave paintings can be seen in Madhya Pradesh and southern Uttar Pradesh. Also, caves where early people lived, and these two pictures are found in these caves. So these rock paintings are examples or evidences that they lived in caves. So rock paintings also tell us early people lived in caves and they used to hunt animals, gather fruits, roots, and they are experienced with such kind of lives. Sites. Sites are the places where remains of early people found. Remains means remains of the things which early people used to found, like tools, pots, buildings, weapons, such remains. Whatever the things early people used, that the remains of all those things found. The place where all these things found can be called as sites. Here you can see one example, one building's picture. You can see this is a site. Remains of a building, remains of tools, remains of pots, remains of the things which early people used can be called as sites. Archaeologists are finding out such kinds of sites and they are studying about that sites and constructing or making history about the people who lived in that areas or sites. So sites are places where the remains of the things that early people used found. Finding out about fire. We know that early people discovered how to make fire. They used fire as a source of light and to roast meat, to scare away animals, to chase away animals, scare away animals. That is, in order to get protection from animals, to roast meat and as a source of light. They used fire for these purposes. Early people made, even though if they lived in caves, but still they used fire. They made fire, they discovered fire. By rubbing stones, they discovered fire. And in Kurnool caves, archaeologists found traces of evidences of ash. Kurnool caves. Archaeologists found evidences of ash. That means archaeologists made history that early people lived in Kurnool caves and they used fire also. They made fire and they used fire also because they found evidences of fire in Kurnool caves. Names and dates. Archaeologists have given different names for the period in which early people lived, and they have given lengthy names also. The first name is Paleolithic Period. Paleolithic Period. This word Paleolithic comes from two Greek words. Paleo is one Greek word, litho is another Greek word. Paleo means old. Litho means stone, which means old stone age, old stone period. Historians have given different names for the period in which early people lived. They have given Paleolithic period, Mesolithic period and Neolithic. These are the terms they used for categorizing the period in which people lived. So the Paleolithic period can be divided into three: Lower Paleolithic period, Middle Paleolithic period and Upper Paleolithic period. Paleolithic comes from two Greek words, paleo and lithos. Paleo means old, lithos means stone. Period of stone tools. Period in which early people used stone tools. This period can be called as old stone age because people used stone tools. And Paleolithic period starts from 2 million years ago to 12,000 years ago. From 2 million years ago to 12,000 years ago. Paleolithic period starts from 2 million years ago to 12,000 years ago. And now let's see the next stage of early human's life. Mesolithic period. This period starts from 12,000 years ago to 10,000 years ago. 12,000 years ago to 10,000 years ago. During this period, even the people used mainly stone tools, but they were comparatively small in size. And that's why the tools which the people used during this period were called microliths. Microliths. The tools were comparatively small in size, and that's why the tools which early people used during this period were called microliths. And Mesolith means middle stone age. Paleolithic period means old stone age. Mesolithic period means middle stone age. And one other period is called Neolithic period, which means new stone age. Later period of stone age or new stone age. This period starts from 10,000 years ago to 3000 BCE when civilization started, till civilization started period. Neolithic period starts from 10,000 to 3000 BCE because 3000 BCE onwards civilization started. People started to settle permanently in one place and they started to develop different activities. Community lives they start to practice. They started to settle permanently in one place itself. They started to rear or had animals. They started to practice agriculture. They started to live in houses. All these activities started 3500 BC onwards. So, Neolithic period starts from 10,000 years to 3,500 BC. These are three main periods in which early people lived. Paleolithic period means Old Stone Age, Mesolithic period means Middle Stone Age, and Neolithic period means New Stone Age. Paleolithic period can be divided into three: Lower Paleolithic, Middle Paleolithic, and Upper Paleolithic. The term Paleolithic comes from two Greek words, paleo and lithos. Paleo means old, litho means stone, which means old stone age. This period starts from 2 million years ago to 12,000 years. Mesolithic period starts from 12,000 years to 10,000 years. And Neolithic period starts from 10,000 to 3,000